So I've got up here 1775 to 1783, because that's the years of the American Revolution. Can I get like a hey if you guys can see these numbers in the back, or if this is a total waste of time? All right, perfect. Because we're not starting with the American Revolution, that's the middle of the page. I'm up on stage, I gotta hook you guys in real quick. I'm gonna take you back to where my town is, Fort Ligonier, outside of Pittsburgh, where Braddock's Road is built. And I wanna take you back 20 years to something that some people call the French and Indian War. Now, if you look up here, 1754 to 1763, that's 9 years. Europeans, they can't do math, maybe it's the metric system, they call it the 7 Years' War. Don't know, don't care, we know how it went down here. And here's the thing. Now this early war, this is where George Washington cut his teeth. Because the area that is now Pittsburgh was at the time French. And George Washington walked in, got drunk, started talking trash, and shot a few Frenchmen. And it launches off this French and Indian War, or the 7 Years' War, but it's something I'd like to think of as the First World War. Because at the same time that Britain was fighting this war against the colonists, well, they were fighting 3 wars in what would become India. They were fighting the Marathas, they were fighting the Mughals, they were fighting somebody else that I'm not going to butcher their name or mispronounce it, but they were fighting 3 separate empires at the same time. They're duking it out here with those pesky little colonists. And so this history that we like to think of as one where the colonists get mad, and they start to fight back, and they don't like these taxes. It's the total opposite of what happened in India. Because in India, the Brits win, and they start building a fort named for a little prince, and this is Fort William. Fort William is 1 kilometer wide on every single side. This is a time with no earth movers, just shovels and sweat and a severe lack of concern for the people you've just conquered. It takes over 20 years to build this fort. In fact, this fort is not finished until 1783. So the whole time that the king's looking at his British colonists fighting for freedom, he's already got something bigger going on halfway around the world. Because Fort William sits right in the mouth of the Ganges River. And the Ganges River is the heart of India, the same way the Mississippi might be thought of as the heart of the United States. And if you look upstream, instead of seeing 500 square miles of the best corn growing territory or cotton growing territory, it's 500 square miles of the world's best dope growing territory. So the British Empire starts planning hundreds and hundreds of miles of opium. Opium that will flow for a century. And so 1 year after the king says goodbye to the colonists, 1783, he turns around and he signs in 1784 something called the India Act. Because India up to this point had never even been thought of as a single country. It was multiple empires and 1,000 different princedoms. The idea that we think of India as a country today is based on this India Act and fusing 1 billion people together with blood and blood money and sweet, sticky opium sap. And that is why every British school child knows that the American Revolution was really just small potatoes. Thank you.